Welcome back. And in disturbing news that's coming in from Chennai, fresh violence is reported from the city despite the Tamil Nadu Assembly having passed that Jallikattu bill. Jallikattu protests are being reported at Teynampet in Chennai, and we believe that stone pelting incidents are also being reported. Let's cut across to Akshita Nandagopal, my colleague who has been tracking developments on the ground. Akshita, what more can you tell us about reports coming in from Teynampet? Give us also, just explain the geography of this area for the viewers who are not from Chennai.
Yes, Smita. Me and my camera person, we were right there at the spot when the stone pelting suddenly began. This started, in fact, minutes after the Jallikattu bill was passed. Immediately, we saw that the police had, in fact, rushed out all the people who were staging the road roko, who were stopping the traffic from moving. This is on Mount Road, just central to Chennai. It leads up, of course, to places like Nungapakkam, and this place was entire chock-a-block with traffic. So they ensured that while dispersing this, the crowd moved away, but the mob, an angry mob, then attacked the police. These police officials were clearly unprepared. They didn't have their riot gear on. They were not equipped. They only had their sticks with them. So they tried to chase away the locals, who then picked up stones, picked up glass bottles, and started hurling it at the police. We then got these visuals that you see on your screens, where you can see that the locals chase away the cops who are present in that particular area. The police then run across once again to the main road. This is in Teynampet, which is where you see some of the biggest five-star hotels also being placed right now, Smita. So these are very, very scary visuals that have come to light. It's clear that normalcy is yet to return here in Chennai.
Absolutely, those disturbing visuals on the television screens where you can still see locals resort to stone pelting even as police try and disperse the crowds through lathi charge. But this is one particular area where, as Akshita is pointing out, if you see that the police do not seem to prepared to be handling crowds. They're not in riot gears. One person could be seen, of course, trying to do something to the lamp post. Akshita, also, does this mean that despite the Tamil Nadu Assembly having passed the Jallikattu bill, police has to prepare itself really for these kind of spates of violence being reported from parts of the city through the evening today?
I think yes, Smita, because I think through the evening they're going to be trying to disperse these gatherings that have been across main roads. For Chennaiites out there, I've been saying it time and again, today is not a great day to step out because the entire old Mahabalipuram road, which is literally where, of course, all your IT parks are, that entire area has been completely blocked by traffic because locals have refused to let people move. So, they've been staging these protests on the road and the police have been watching quietly minutes after this Jallikattu bill was passed. And I think that was the plan. That was the strategy, the concept to do that. So they went ahead and immediately pushed all of them aside. And on this road, when they did that, the locals immediately rushed back and then forcefully pushed at the police, who I think didn't expect this kind of vigor, this kind of violence, which is why you're witnessing what you're seeing there on your screens. The police completely ill-equipped, then rushing out to the main road. We're actually come back inside because it's really, really unsafe out there. Locals are pelting stones, they're throwing glass bottles. We even saw some of them throwing bottles with fire at the road, at buildings in the area. So they've damaged quite a bit of vehicles as well. We could see that. We could see the buildings are being damaged. So we had to rush inside because it was getting increasingly unsafe. But we're expecting that the police will turn up there any moment to disperse this mob. In fact, at one point it looked like the police had everything under control, Smita. But what we saw soon after that is that one of the locals there, who the police had attacked, was injured. So the mob came with a fresh fury and then attacked the police, who were then completely outnumbered, Smita. And that's when it got really dangerous. It got really unsafe. So we stayed on there for about 5 minutes and then urged all the other people who were also there, a lot of bystanders who were watching, we urged them to come away because, these locals with a fresh fury really were firing, were throwing stones, were throwing glass bottles all over the place with absolutely no, consideration for the people. Yes.
Akshita, how is the government trying to send across their message? If they have actually gone ahead with the passage of this bill in a special assembly session, these groups, these people, is there any nodal point person that the government can reach out to at this point in time?
I think, Smita, the idea of the government is to give them a message saying enough is enough. I think the government is saying that, look, we've listened to your voice, we've heard what you wanted, and we've given you what you wanted now. So enough, get off the roads. I think that's why, symbolically enough, they took to the roads minutes after this happened. As for whether, they're reaching out in any other form, it looks like not, because Chennai is a city that's largely always never had a law and order problem, which is why many people said that something like this happening with regards to the protest, of course, is unprecedented. We've seen chief ministers who ruled with an iron fist, and this is possibly the first time we're seeing this kind of a situation where the cops have not, been able to control what's happening. So now
Right.
we're seeing that a lot more authority is being given to the police. So they're going out there, they're giving the mob a strong message. They're trying to ensure that law and order is back in place so that a normal life isn't crippled. Over the last, 45 hours, Smita, I can't tell you how many people have been reaching out to me asking when they'll be able to get back home. They've all been
Yes.
stuck on the roads. They've switched off their cars and they're trying to walk home because that's how bad the situation here in Chennai
Yes,
is.
we can see, in fact, in large parts of this place in particular, where, of course, the shutters are down on some shops, but in some areas where people are on bikes, riding cycles, even as stone pelting continues and the face-off continues between security forces and the local residents there. Akshita getting us the very latest from that situation playing out in Teynampet in Chennai. For now, it's a wrap of this edition of the broadcast. But coming up next, Karan Thapar discusses the Jallikattu bill in details. On to the point.